Expensive grow lights are a waste of money. I hope you stick around for this whole video because I'm going to go through some things and talk to you about how I'm able to grow plants indoors with cheap lights and minimal effort. For the past 2 years, I've gotten quite a bit of negative feedback from people on a video I made discouraging people from spending too much money on grow lights. Despite making videos showing that these cheap lights work, there's still some doubters out there. Now I figure the people telling me it doesn't work either work for the grow light companies or possibly spent too much money on lights and they're upset about it now. And many of these companies have reached out to me. They want to send me free lights so I can make videos and sell them to you and then get commission on the side for it. I'm not going to do that. My channel's focused on saving you time and money when it comes to gardening, and I make a pretty decent living, so I can't be bought. So if you like saving time and money, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this video, leave a comment. So in this video, we're going to kind of focus on how lights aren't really that important. There's criteria we have to meet when we're buying cheap shop lights to grow plants indoors. But in the end, there's other stuff I do that I believe is way more important than the lights themselves. And it doesn't seem like a lot of people focus on these things. In the end, you are going to need lights. So this is what you got to do. Go to the big box store, get some 4-foot LED shop lights. LEDs burn cool, so they're not going to burn your plants. The wattage is super low, so your energy rates are going to be a lot cheaper to operate these. You're going to want something that's between 4,000 and 7,000 lumens and 4,000 and 7,000 Kelvin. I'm going to link the original grow light video in here because I cover all the stuff with these cheap lights in that video. That's because I really want to focus on the other items that I believe are more important. Don't get hung up on PAR and spectrum, all the big words people are using. In the end, light travels at 186,000 miles per second. So most of your photons are getting wasted anyway. Let's go ahead and get this light out of the way here. And let's focus on something you're definitely going to need to grow plants inside, and that is soil. And this is not just any soil. This is some soil that I accidentally came up with when I was trying to come up with a soil block recipe. Now most people are going to go out and just get themselves a decent potting mix, which is fine. Plants will still grow in a decent potting mix. But this is different from a normal potting mix because there's life in it. So my mixture is 1 part sifted potting soil, 1 part sifted peat, 1 part perlite, and 1 part sifted chicken compost from the chicken run. That's where the life comes in. Plants grow really well outside because there's life in the soil. We're just bringing a little bit of that goodness from outside in, and it makes a huge difference. I'm able to start seeds for stuff like tomatoes, and from the time I put that seed in the soil block to the time it's ready for transplant is only 26 days, not these 6 to 8 weeks that we're used to. So after seeing that, all of my inside plants get planted into this mix. Now, if you don't have chickens, that's fine. If you got some good homemade compost, go ahead, sift that out and use that as one of the parts in your soil mix. Even taking a little bit of outside soil, sift that, put it in here, just to bring some of those microorganisms inside. Besides this awesome soil mix I have, here is one of my other secrets. This is just rainwater. Rainwater, melted snow, the stuff that falls from the sky, the stuff that the plants drink when they live outside. Unlike tap water, well water, bottled water, this stuff is loaded with atmospheric nutrients and nitrogen. If you've ever gone out to your garden after a thunderstorm or a rainstorm goes by, you can almost see that your plants have grown almost immediately. That's because of this good stuff. So last year I gave my plants nothing but rainwater. Compared to bottled water and well water that I've tried in the past, the rainwater definitely outperforms. And we really shouldn't be surprised by that because this is what the plants need. When you think of water, don't think about your plants drinking the water. Think of this as a nutrient delivery system. And while we're talking about water, don't give your plants too much. Everyone overwaters their plants. I usually wait till my plants are wilting and the soil is really dry before I give them any water. Because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, even if you're a plant. Sometimes I like to send my plants to the verge of death and then let them recover. They're better for it. Now just because you got good soil and good rainwater doesn't mean you can grow everything inside. Remember, plants aren't designed to grow inside. They're meant to grow outside. And the cool thing is, at this point, we've been breeding plants long enough that we've bred varieties that do better indoors than others. So when you grow inside, you're gonna wanna look for dwarfing varieties or just plants that don't get big. If you wanna grow tomatoes inside, don't grow an indeterminate tomato that wants to grow 10 feet tall. Instead, I grow the orange hat tomatoes. Now, orange hat tomatoes are cool because you can grow these in 4-inch pots. So even though it's a little tomato, you can grow a bunch of them in a small space, and they yield pretty well, and they definitely taste good. Other plants that are smaller, you have hot peppers, green beans. Green beans grow fantastic inside. You can take a small container, plant green beans about 3 inches apart and load that thing up and get a giant bouquet of green beans. Easiest is just your standard greens like lettuce, smaller cabbages. They don't need a lot of space. They don't get tall. If you're growing in a cold basement like I am, they're actually gonna prefer that weather. And there's the tough crowd that grows plants for adult use inside. They've argued with me the most, so I went out, I got myself a $20 seed and grew some mature audience plants inside. I can't show you because of the YouTube community standards. I've posted pictures on my Facebook. Again, my plants looked like the beautiful website picture they use, and we had a strong yield. And it grew great because I got a dwarfing variety. I wasn't trying to grow something that wants to be 7 feet tall. Living soil, rainwater, variety. Here we go. Some bonus tips on the lighting because people say you can't flower or fruit plants under these cheap shop lights. This is how I do it. When the plants are first sprouting, I do 14 to 18 hours of light per day with that light pretty close to the seedlings. As they grow, I keep my light at double the plant height. As soon as the plants start showing flower buds on them, I go down to about 14 hours of light per day. I run them at around 12 to 14 hours a day when those flowers are open, and make sure you hand pollinate those flowers because there's no bees inside your house, hopefully. Once we're pollinated, it's time to trick that plant into thinking it's later in the season and it's at the end of its life. So I will cut down my lights to 6 to 10 hours. And as the time goes by, I'll cut it down even more, closer to the 6 range. I want the plants to freak out, think it's time to reproduce, and die. I hope everyone that's growing indoors will give these methods a shot here. I'm telling you, the rainwater and the living soil is going to give you big results. You will realize you don't have to worry about these lights as much. If you already do some of these things, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.